What's going on, YouTube, Facebook, viewers, subscribers of this video? Bill Mack here with another edition of Pro Wrestling Unleashed. Glad you could join me for another video. This is the results for SmackDown Live for August the 1st, 2017, as we just got done watching SmackDown. So I hope you enjoy the results that just basically happened here. Quite a few matches were set up for SummerSlam in this episode. So let's get right into it. Right off the bat, at the beginning of the show, we have AJ Styles defending the U.S. Championship against Kevin Owens. This was a rematch from last week, and this has been a lot of gimmicky finishes in the last few weeks, and looks to be that way again. As the match was a really good match between the two, as typically they can put on. We had another controversial ending as we saw AJ Styles as Kevin Owens inadvertently hit the referee. The referee gets blinded. AJ goes for a roll-up on Kevin Owens. The referee can barely see, but he goes to count, but he's on the opposite side of Kevin Owens' right shoulder being up during the whole pin. The referee doesn't see it, so the referee counts 1, 2, 3. AJ wins the match and retains his title. But the referee looks like they come in and have an official come look at him and his eye, and they go to the back and show him. So, we see basically Kevin Owens upset at this. He goes in the back. He confronts Shane and tells him that, it's not fair. He had his shoulder up. The referee couldn't see. Shane agrees. Shane makes a rematch at SummerSlam. Kevin Owens wants a referee that's going to call it down the middle and not be knocked over by, he called a gust of wind. So Daniel Bryan makes sure that Shane will be the referee, and Shane calls it down. Kevin Owens is irate. Shane says, if you want the rematch, I'll be the referee. Kevin Owens agrees. So we have a match at SummerSlam for the U.S. title. AJ Styles defending against Kevin Owens with Shane McMahon as being the referee. Up next, the Usos kind of troll the fans, where they begin sounding like New Day, and they sound just like New Day, and then come to find out when they hear the voices, they realize it's not New Day coming out, that it's the Usos. They come out and cut a promo on the New Day and say the New Day are still locked up in Uso Penitentiary. So Usos not there this week. They're not going to fight, as we saw the attack last week on the Usos and whatnot. So the Usos have a little laugh about it, and they go to the back. We have a segment with Tyler Breeze and Breezango. It's Fashion Peaks now, I guess, taking off Twin Peaks. And he's looking for Tyler Breeze is looking for Fandango, who's on a little wanted picture, and he has a dream, and the Ascension's in it, and he doesn't understand what's going on. So, I guess they try to find out, because remember last week that somebody, when the lights went out, Fandango was dragged out. So he's still trying to find out who has Fandango. So that's kind of where that segment went to. Sami Zayn took on Aiden English, which is a very long promo. English sang all the way to the ring, and it took him at least 10 minutes to get into the ring and to quit singing. The match took definitely longer than that, less than that. As we see, basically Aiden English hit a roll-up pin on Sami, surprising Sami that he did, and Aiden got the win. So what this really means is, and Sami's really going down even worse. He was a jobber, like I said. I was just surprised that Aiden English, which looks like he might be on the way out or down to NXT, actually got the win. So he gets a roll-up. Sami's in shock, which then, as Aiden's going up to the ramp, we see Maria and Mike come out. The power couple of love is what I like to call them. And they said they love each other, but one thing they love seeing more is seeing Sami lose. So that's where we see. So their feud looks to be going on a little further, heading into SummerSlam. So seeing Sami lose and then him beating Mike, I don't get WWE's booking. It's silly booking they have. Next up, we got a tag team matchup with the women's division. We got Becky Lynch and Naomi taking on Carmella, Miss Money in the Bank, and Natty, who's the #1 contender that will be facing Naomi at SummerSlam for the SmackDown Live women's title. It was a decent match. Pretty much Natty and her had it, and Carmella had it. Natty went to had Becky in the corner. Carmella makes a blind tag. Carmella tries to set her up in the code of silence, and then we see that Naomi reverses it, puts her in her submission, and makes Carmella tap, which surprised Natalya because they were actually in control of this matchup. So it just remains to be seen on Natalya and Carmella where they stand after they were basically in control of the matchup. But decent matchup, but nonetheless. We see Jinder Mahal being interviewed in the back. Jinder's interviewed by Renee Young, and she asks him, whether who she wants to see, who does he want to see at face at SummerSlam. He said whether it's the Japanese or the American doesn't matter to him. He's going to be watching the matchup closely in his personal skybox tonight, and he'll be looking at it. And no matter whoever wins, he said he's still walking out SummerSlam as the champion, that no one can beat modern day Maharaja. So that was basically him, and sure enough, that's what he'll end up doing at the onset of the main event. Now, this was a good match. This, to me, is the match of the night on SmackDown. We had Chad Gable taking on Rusev, and this was a ground match. There was a lot of holds, bear hugs, work on Rusev. He kind of wore Rusev down. You could tell these guys. Gable was suplexing Rusev and front and back. I mean, it was a good matchup. We saw Gable, get out of the accolade at one point. We saw Gable hit a moonsault on Rusev. Rusev kicked out. Rusev ends up a second time being able to lock the accolade in. You could tell that he's pretty tired. He's limping a little bit from where Gable worked on his leg some after putting the ankle lock on. This was a good matchup. I thought that Gable showed off some good athletic skills, and it looks like he's going to have a promising singles career on SmackDown if they book him right. So I thought this was a good match. Rusev wins with the accolade. This prompts, he talks about how he doesn't have an opponent at SummerSlam. How, he talks about John Cena and that nobody can beat him. And then this prompts Randy Orton to come out. Randy ain't able to get in the ring. Rusev won't let him. Randy says, you better be glad. If I were you, I wouldn't let myself in the ring either. Randy comes in and tells him, hey, I don't have a opponent at SummerSlam, so you haven't beat me, so why not me? Rusev goes and says a lot of stuff in his Bulgarian language. I guess he's cutting a promo on Randy. He goes to attack Randy. Randy ducks, hits the RKO, leaves Rusev laying in the ring. So it looks like then this sets up a match at SummerSlam. We have Randy Orton taking on Rusev. So another matchup set up for tonight for SummerSlam, along with AJ and Kevin Owens rematch. Finally, we come down to the main event. The winner of this match will face Jinder Mahal at SummerSlam. John Cena taking on Shinsuke. A good back and forth matchup. We've seen a lot of submission attempts. We've seen John Cena with some on his own. A lot of kick ups and ring breaks. We see at one point Nakamura try to hit his Kinshasa on Cena. Cena blocks. It hits an AA, which Nakamura kicks up. Then Nakamura locks in a guillotine on Cena. Cena ends up, tries to hit another, hits an AA, then tries to roll up and hit another. And Nakamura does this suplex back, and looks like Cena lands on the back part of his neck and the top back on the back of his neck, which looked gruesome. And then we see basically while he's down, Nakamura in the corner. He finally hits the Kinshasa. 1, 2, 3. Cena lifts his hand and shows him respect. Nakamura is going to SummerSlam and taking on Jinder Mahal for the SummerSlam for the WWE Championship. So these are pretty much all the things that happen. We see 3 matches. We see rematch for the U.S. title between AJ and KO with Shane as the ref. We see Randy Orton taking on Rusev in the ring. We see also Nakamura taking on Jinder. at SummerSlam. So I hope you've all enjoyed the video. If you do, drop a like on this video, comment, share this video, and subscribe to my channel. I'll do the best I can to pump out as much as I can for you. So until next time, this is Bill Mack with Pro Wrestling Unleashed saying, take it easy.
Yeah.